Welcome to today's live IELTS class. My name is Adrian. I'm streaming to you from beautiful Central Europe. I hope everybody is having a fantastic week so far. Staying productive, healthy, and strong. Hi, Marjona. Hi, Rahul. Hi, Mihir. Welcome, everyone. Hi, Muhammad. Sanati. Nice to see everyone in the class. We are studying listening in this class. Specifically, we are focusing on part 1 and 2 practice, and I'm going to give you some tips on how to get those high band scores on your next IELTS exam. This material is presented to you by aehelp.com. That's academicenglishhelp.com. For academic IELTS, please visit us there. For the general version of the exam, check us out at ieltshelp.com. That's generalieltshelp.com. On both of our websites, we have lots of listening practice for you. We even have listening audio for the reading sections so that you can improve your reading while you listen. Now, I will play the audio from the websites here very soon. Welcome, Prashita. Hi, Nico. Hi, Sammy. Good to see many of our members. Hi, Carolina, also in the class. This is our academic IELTS website here with the blue background. It's got this big red button that you can click to join the premium package. It's a one-time payment for lifetime access. We're an IELTS registration center for the British Council, and we are British Council agents as well. For the general IELTS, it's the green background. You can click that big red button to join our premium package there and get all of our materials, videos, apps for your phone, and lots more. Again, it's a one-time payment for lifetime access, so it's worth spending a couple of dollars to get that extra help to maximize your IELTS exam scores. Students, if you have questions about the exam, about English, just send us an email, adrian@aehelp.com. We will gladly answer any inquiries that you may have. If you want to get our exam books in paper form, you can do that. Just search A Helps Academic IELTS on Amazon or GE Helps General IELTS, and you'll find some of our books, and you can purchase them in paperback as well. We've got lots of classes for you this week. Task 1, more listening tomorrow. We have Q&A for members also. Now we will do part 1. Now here's my first tip for part 1. While the instructions are playing for part 1, definitely check out the topics of part 2, 3, and 4. That's really helpful. I did that just recently in my official live IELTS exam, and I thought that was really useful. In the computer-based, it's very easy because you can just click into those sections. So here's my first tip to help you get a band 9. Definitely it helps your brain to kind of capture that information a little bit easier when you get to those parts, okay? All right, so tip number 1 here is during the introduction and instruction audio, it's roughly about 1 minute. Take a look at the topics of part 2, part 3, and part 4. This is really helpful for the overall results of your listening section. Okay, so we're going to practice that right now. And again, in the computer-based exam, it's really easy because you just click to those parts and you can see the questions right away. Okay. All right. Mihir, I'm not sure exactly what you're asking, so maybe send me an email. It's not 100% clear for me. Okay, everyone, so we're going to get into our listening. This listening is coming from our 5th exam. For those of you who have access to our materials. And I'm going to play the audio with a nice Bose speaker and my headset. So make sure to turn up the volume if you need it to be a little bit louder. And if you have a headset, then I definitely recommend using it. Now, also, please, students, don't put your answers into the chat. Just save your answers until the end so that we can go over them together, and so that you don't confuse other students as well. Okay, so this is going to be test 5, so it's CD 5, and it will be track 1, of course, because it's part 1. Okay, so everybody get ready to do the listening here, okay, and we will go through strategies and the answers after we listen to part 1. Okay, all right, here we go, everyone. Get ready to listen and answer.
This recording is copyrighted by 2Think1 Solutions Inc. and World ESL Tutors. You will hear several different recordings and will answer questions on what you hear. There will be time. You will be given a chance to check your work. The recordings will be played only once. The test is made up of 4 sections. At the end of the test, you will have 10 minutes to transfer your answers to the answer sheet. Now turn to section 1. Listening section 1. You will hear a conversation between 2 people as one tries to return a defective product. First, you have some time to look at questions 1 to 5. You'll see that there is an example. This time only, the conversation relating to this question will be played.
Good afternoon. I bought a product from your store 1 week ago, and I've been having difficulties getting it to work properly.
Of course, sir. Do you have the original receipt from the purchase? The first piece of information I need is the date you purchased the product.
Yes, I actually have it right here. I purchased it 8 days ago, on the 6th of July.
The 6th of July. Great.
The man says he purchased the item on July 6th, so this answer has been indicated for you. Now we shall begin. You should answer the questions as you listen, because you will not hear the recording a second time. Listen carefully and answer questions 1 to 5.
Good afternoon. I bought a product from your store 1 week ago, and I've been having difficulties getting it to work properly.
Of course, sir. Do you have the original receipt from the purchase? The first piece of information I need is the date you purchased the product.
Yes, I actually have it right here. I purchased it 8 days ago, on the 6th of July.
The 6th of July. Great. I need the name of the product as indicated on the receipt.
Certainly. The receipt shows it as SOJO 232XD.
SOJO 232XD?
Yes, that's right.
Okay, yes. I see the product in my records now. It is a 23-inch computer monitor?
Yes, that's correct.
Now tell me, did you buy the extended warranty on the monitor?
No, I did not. I always feel like those warranties are a bit of a scam.
Perhaps, until you need the warranty?
Perhaps. But there must be some sort of manufacturer's warranty, right?
There may be. Let me check for you. Okay. Yes, it seems there is a manufacturer's warranty. The warranty is for 60 days, 2 months.
Great, then I shouldn't encounter any problems in returning it.
Well, actually, we only accept returns for a week after purchase. Since you purchased the computer monitor 8 days ago, you'll have to deal directly with the manufacturer.
How annoying. What steps must I take then?
Well, the company that makes the monitor has a depot in Birmingham. You must post it to them.
Okay. Do you have their address?
Yes, it's on Edgbaston Park Road and...
Hold on. You'll have to spell Edgbaston for me. I've never heard of it.
Of course. It is spelled EDGBASTON.
And then the rest of the address?
The address number is 89 and the unit number is 5.
Okay, so 89 Edgbaston Park Road, Unit 5.
That's right. And the postcode is B152RU.
B152RU.
That's right.
You now have some time to look at questions 6 to 10. Now listen to the rest of the interview and answer questions 6 to 10.
Great, but one concern I have is the cost of posting something as large as a computer monitor.
Indeed. Such a product must weigh a few kilos and will certainly set you back some money to post. Let me see if the company takes such a problem into consideration.
Well, that would certainly be nice if they did.
Yes, it seems they do. They have a program in place where they pay postage for the exchange of goods under manufacturer warranty or product recall.
That's great news. What do I have to do to use this service?
It's fairly simple. You just call their Birmingham depot and request a prepaid postage voucher. Then you take the item to the post office along with the voucher, and the post office will take care of the rest.
Sounds simple enough. Do you have a phone number for the depot in Birmingham?
Yes, you can reach them on 0121 496 0633. Oh, and be sure to call during business hours. They're open from 10 in the morning until 6 in the evening.
10 until 6, understood. One final question. What would I have had to do to return the monitor if I had purchased the extended warranty from your store?
Well, the process would have been much simpler, sir. You could have simply brought it into the return desk at your local store. We would have given you your choice of a new monitor, your cash back, or store credit in the amount of 110% of the original cost of the item.
110% store credit? Wow, that seems too good to be true.
Well, company policy is that we want satisfied customers, and when they are not satisfied, we feel the need to compensate them for this in some small measure.
Perhaps next time I'll buy the extended warranty. How much would it have cost on the monitor I bought?
Only £20.
£20 would have been well worth it to save me the trouble of dealing directly with the manufacturer.
Well, now you know, sir.
Indeed I do. Thanks again.
That is the end of section 1. You will now have half a minute to check your answers.
Okay, everyone, and make sure to check those answers in that half minute. It's very valuable. You can definitely catch some mistakes at certain times, so be sure to check. Okay? All right. Let me just stop the audio here, and then we'll go through the answers together. Nice and smooth, step by step. So let's just jump back to this tip. So remember I was telling you that when you're listening to the instructions, you should look at the topics of part 2, part 3, and part 4. Does anybody remember, or did anybody catch what part 2, 3, and 4 will be about? You can just write up the words, and if you caught it, I'll definitely recognize it. So what was part 2 about? Okay. So what was part 2 about? Okay, so Sandeep says something about charity and volunteering, maybe? Yeah. Okay. This is definitely the speed that they speak at, so they use natural conversational speed. They don't slow down. Okay. Yeah, so part 2 was about charity and volunteering. Sure. Okay. Part 3, Moria says, was something about trade. Yeah. Okay. Good. And part 4 was something about Michelangelo. Very good. So for those of you who caught that, that's great. That's going to really help you when you get into those. Okay. All right. Nicely done. Okay, so let's go back to the questions and then go through them one at a time. Now, for multiple choice, it's really, really important to focus on the question. So here, what product did the man purchase? Okay, so that's what you're listening for. What did the man actually buy? All right, and you want to hold this information in your head as well. You want to really actively listen. So did he purchase a computer monitor, or a television? The correct answer here was a computer monitor. The SOJO, computer monitor. So B was the right answer here. He purchased a computer monitor. Okay. All right. Now, for this next one, for questions 2 and 3, you had to figure out what 2 pieces of information are needed to access the record of the purchase. So what did the woman need so that she could find this item that the man bought? Okay. And again, if you listen carefully, you can take some notes. Now, again, in the computer-based exam, you have your login code and you have a pen with you so you can take notes on that. And you hear the woman ask for the date that he bought it, so time of purchase. Okay, if you're writing notes, it should be purchase, time of purchase, or to keep it even simpler, I would just write date buy. Okay, so the date that he bought it. And then what was the other one that you needed? I remember she asked for the name of product, so product name. Okay, now when you're taking notes for these, minimize your effort. So don't put any dashes or bullets. Okay, put 3-word notes like this. You might be even able to simplify it by just putting down date and name. Okay, and if you jot down these 2 notes very quickly, date and name, then you can look at the choices and you can go, okay, that's the name of the product, that's the date that he bought it. Warranty information was not needed. Serial number, no. Purchase date, okay, date, perfect. Name of the product, name, perfect. So I'm going to put the answers E into space 2 and then maybe F into space 3. And that's all that is needed. Okay. All right. So for these multiple choice questions where you have more than one correct choice, taking notes on the note sheet that you have is very useful. In the paper-based exam, you write it directly into your question booklet. Okay. All right. Now, it's very important that you review all of the questions before the listening starts so that you don't lose position. Here, a good way to know where the listening audio is at a time is looking at this warranty length, the 60 days. So the woman says, yeah, the warranty is for 2 months or 60 days. And then you had this delivery depot location, Birmingham, the address. What is the address that the woman gives for the return? Okay, so she even spells it, or the man asks her to spell it. So if you're patient, you get the spelling as well. Yeah, it was 89 Edgbaston Road. Very good. So 89 Bastion. Okay, big E. Because it's the name of the place. So if you have a small e, you'll get it wrong. So be really careful. It's 89 Edgbaston Park Road. Okay. All right. And then the postcode. So again, they spell this out. So each letter, each number is given clearly. What was the postcode where the man has to send back this faulty computer monitor? Prashita says B152RU. Mihir and Shakzod and Moria tend to agree. Abhishek, there was no E in the spelling of Edge Bastion. It was EDGBASTON, so no E. It was Edge Bastion, like this. Okay, and yes, the postcode was B152RU. In this case, I like to use very clear letters and numbers, so capital B, capital RU. Okay. All right, then you had a little break to review these questions. Follow the instructions. If you follow the instructions, you will increase the chance of getting all of your answers right. So here we go. Write no more than 3 words for each answer. In order to get free delivery on product returns, the customer must telephone the depot and request a prepaid something. They only say this once. It was 2 words. And of course, if you know these words, then you know what it is. When I had my listening exam last week, there was actually 2 questions that I kind of missed. I wasn't listening, but because I knew the words, I was able to fill it in, and I'm pretty sure I got them right. Okay. All right, Carolina says postage voucher. Yeah, the adjective is postage. So postage voucher. Okay, postage voucher. Nice and clear, 2 words. Like postage stamp. Okay, adjective is postage. Postage voucher. The word form has to be correct. All right. Okay, number 7, what is the phone number of the depot? Now, here you only heard it once. Oftentimes they'll repeat it. So if you don't catch it the first time, don't panic yet. So what was the phone number? Mihir Patel says 0121496033. A lot of you also seem to believe that's correct, and that is correct. So 0121 496 0633. And it doesn't have to have the spaces. It doesn't matter. It can be just one string of numbers, okay? So spaces between numbers and letters for credit card numbers, postal codes, telephone numbers, they don't matter, okay? So you don't have to worry about spaces. Just get the numbers down nice and clear, okay? As soon as you hear the words phone number, get ready to write it down clearly. Okay, number 8, for how many hours is the depot open each day? I got to this one a little bit early, but you do have to kind of hold this information in your head anyway. So sometimes you won't match up the audio with the question perfectly. So it's good to remember some information. And they say the answer twice. I think the woman says it once and then the man says it again. He says, 10 until 6. And so you hear this 10 till 6. So the correct answer is B, 8 hours. Okay. So lots of listening questions. We'll check to see if you can imply or infer information from what you're hearing. And here they said the post office is open 10 till 6. 10 till 6 is, of course, 8 hours. Okay, number 9, this was just one question, and you had to catch which 3 options the customers give upon returning an item. In the computer-based exam, these are usually drag and drop type questions, so you have to drag and drop them into the space provided. So what do they give? And I remember the woman said, again, use the note paper here. So exchange was one that the woman said. Store credit. And it was quite catchy because it was 110% credit. Okay. Or money. money back. So if I were writing notes, I would have written down those ones. Let's see if we have a match. Exchange for a new one, that's good. So that's A. Okay. It was 110% stored credit. That was quite interesting. So E, so A and E, and then money back. That's D, cash back. Okay. So I can write that down, all right? Okay, all right. Okay. Good. Let's keep moving forward. Question number 10. The woman mentions an item that cost 20 pounds. What was this item? Again, I'm listening for this. And I remember the woman says at the very end, well, the extended warranty would have cost you 20 pounds. And the man says, well, that would have been well worth it. So it was the extended warranty. Now, if I'm not sure, I can realize that computer monitor is not correct, okay, because that's what the man bought. So no. And manufacturer's warranty logic tells me that that's already included with the product, so that's a no. Now, if at this point I wasn't clear what the man actually bought at this store, whether it was a computer, a keyboard, a television, and I missed that first question, so some of you I know were a little bit confused about what this man actually bought, then using that last question, I now know for sure that it was a computer monitor, okay, because it's mentioned there again. So use the questions to help you figure out for certain some of the other answers correctly. I did that a couple of times on the listening test, and I'm pretty sure that worked. Okay. All right. So, in fact, I'm sure that it worked. Okay, so use the questions. That's another tip, okay? Use the questions to help you with other questions. Everybody got that? Okay, so use the questions in your listening to help you with questions, especially during the end when you have time to check your answers, okay? So this is an important tip. Pay attention to it, okay? So use the questions in each part to help you answer other questions, especially during the time given to check your answers. Okay, really important. All right, everyone. So what did you get out of 10? So how did you do? What was your score out of 10? Now, ideally, okay, in a perfect world for part 1, you're basically getting, well, I would say 9 or 10, but if you got more than 8 or equal to 8, you're still okay. Ideally, you're at like 9 or 10. So Chan, 8, that's right on the borderline, okay? If you've lost 2 marks in part 1, then you don't have a lot of room for error later on, okay? Kashir Shamoria 9, that's acceptable, okay? Ideally, you're closer to the 10. All right, so this is part 1. This is the easiest part. You have to get as close to 10 as possible. If you're not getting 8 or 9 correct in part 1, you have to really practice your listening skills in English, okay? So, and don't worry if you don't get 10 on every exercise, but your average for part 1 should definitely be like 9 or 10 for part 1, okay? All right, so let's do part 2 the same way. So I'm going to play the audio from our website through my headset, turn up the volume for this, and save your answers separately, not in the chat, Wait until everybody finishes with you, and then we'll go over the answers together, okay? So once again, I'm going to play the audio. Everybody get ready to listen and answer, and then we'll go through the answers and some strategies and tips at the end, okay? So here we go.
Now turn to section 2. Take some time to look at questions 11 to 16. Listening Section 2. You will hear a recording of a radio news magazine discussing the importance of doing good in the community. First, you have some time to look at questions 11 to 16. Now listen carefully to the interview and answer questions 11 to 16.
Hello, I'm Emma Robertson, and I'd like to welcome our listeners to Beyond the Lens, the programme that aims to dig deeper on issues in culture and society. Today we have Professor Hudson McMahon from the University of Bristol's Department of Social Policy. Hello, Professor McMahon. Do you want to tell us a little about what you'll be presenting today?
Of course, Emma. But first, I'd like to thank you for having me on the show. My wife and I are both avid listeners of Beyond the Lens, and it's a bit of a thrill to be on the show. But I digress. Today, I want to talk about the importance of doing good in the community and in society. There are many ways of doing this, but the two most common ways are volunteering and giving to charity. However, these methods of improving community and society have an important difference. While volunteering one's time is almost always a positive for society, it is significantly more problematic.
Problematic, Professor McMahon. It would seem to me that giving to charity is always a positive for society. We celebrate those among us who are the greatest donors to charity.
Yes, and in general, it is warranted. I do want to clarify. In general, giving to charity is good, but one must be very careful for two reasons. First, some charities do not do sufficient amounts of charitable good per pound. And second, some charities receive too much money that could be spent better on other causes. Let me discuss each of these in turn.
This seems to me a rather radical thesis.
It seems that way, but I hope to convince you otherwise by the end of the program. Now, getting back to charities. Some charities simply do not give a lot of their received monies to the actual performance of good acts. For instance, some charities utilize less than 10% of their donations on actual charitable activities. The rest goes to salaries, promotion, and other overhead costs. So for a donation of £100, it may be the case that less than £10 actually goes to helping someone.
That sounds terrible, but it still helps people, right?
Well, yes, but as charitable givers, we should try and reward those charities who do most good with the least amount of money. By that, I mean that those thinking of donating to charity should do research on a charity before giving to the cause. There are other charities where more than 50% of donations go to the end cause. These charities are much more deserving of your patronage.
You now have some time to look at questions 17 to 20. Now listen to the rest of the interview and answer questions 17 to 20.
Another reason to be discerning when it comes to your choice of charities is what I call the relative utility of a charitable donation.
Let me take a guess here, Professor McMahon. Is the relative utility of a donation how much good it does relative to other donations?
That's just about it, Emma. The relative utility of a donation is how much good a donation does per amount spent. For instance, the disease MND, motor neuron disease, was in the news in recent years, and M&D charities received a windfall of donations. This sounds all well and good. Funds.
Wait, so you're saying it's bad for people to give to M?
Low. extremely suboptimal.
How can our listeners try and optimize their charitable gifts?
First of all, don't be caught up in viral social media campaigns. Such moments to remind yourself of giving to charity in general, and not just to his donation go to the actual end goal. Additionally, look up how many people are affected by the charity's end cause. The more people there are affected, and the worse they are affected, the more likely you should be to donate to that cause. It is all about maximizing good in the world.
That certainly sounds like a noble goal, but if everyone donates...
That is the end of section 2. You will now have half a minute to check your answers.
And again, everyone, use that half minute to check your answers. I'm just going to stop our audio, and then we will go through the answers together. So, charity and volunteering, important distinction between the two. Okay, everyone. So here we go, a little bit faster. Part 2, in most cases, is a conversation between at least a couple of people. Okay, it was in my exam as well. So, number 11. What is the name of the radio show? So what is the name of this radio show? They say it twice, once when the host introduces the show, and the second time when the man says that he really likes listening to this show. All right. Yeah, almost Prashita, almost Sammy. Yeah. Faisal, you got to turn up the volume. This is a live class, live stream, so you're going to have better audio in the official exam, but if you can get it in this way, you'll definitely be able to get it in the official exam. So it's almost, everyone. It's beyond the lens, and it's 3 words. So beyond the lens. Okay, and because it's a name, careful with the B and the L. They have to be capital. Articles don't need to be capital, but it's beyond the lens. Okay, beyond the lens. All right, and correct grammar. That was a little bit of a difficult one. That's often where students will lose marks, or where they have to actually type the words, because you have to really get the spelling and all of the words correct. But you can, okay? All right, and then here you had to choose for each one A, B, or C, whether it applies to volunteering, it applies to charitable giving, or it applies to neither. And this is where you needed a comprehensive understanding of what the speakers are saying. Okay, so affects fewer people, but maybe highly inefficient. So which one affects few people but is not efficient? Is it A, volunteering, B, charitable giving, or C, neither of the two? Okay, so few people and highly inefficient. A, B, or C? Okay, Kashirsha, very good. Yeah, it was C. So neither of them affects few people and is highly inefficient. Okay, charitable giving affects many people, right, that the charity is going to. So the first one was actually C. Number 13, can be problematic for various reasons. A, charity. B, A, volunteering. B, charity. C, neither. So not one or the other. Okay, so can be problematic for various reasons. Yeah, that was B, very good. And that's what the host talks about. So even if you missed it in the beginning, you should be able to go back and answer this later, as long as you understood. Okay, so charity has lots of challenges. Number 14 is almost always a positive action for society. So A, volunteering, B, charity, or C, neither for this one. Okay, CB Thug says that one's A. That one's going to be volunteering. Yeah, if you give your time to help children, help the elderly, clean up your neighborhood, that's pretty much always a positive. It's hard to go wrong. All right, and number 15, subject to many overhead costs. Overhead costs are basically operating costs, so paying for rent, paying for salaries. Well, A is logically not possible because volunteering means that you're doing work for free, right? It can't be neither, so definitely charitable giving again. Okay, so the correct answers were C, B, A, and B. Okay, logic really helps with this type of question as well, and you have to continuously, of course, comprehend what's going on. Okay, number 16. So what are two reasons that charities can be inefficient? And here you can kind of, again, reflect on the other questions. As I mentioned in part 1, use the answers to the other questions. So must pay salaries, so there's 2 that you have to pick here. Must pay salaries of employees. They give less than 10% of money received to the actual cause. The promotion or doing the most good with the least money, that doesn't make sense. Some causes are not as important as others. So which was this? Okay. Sammy says A and B. No, but close. Kashirsa says B and C. Keep it simple. Charities have to pay their employees. So if you're paying a CEO, if you're paying a lot of other people in the company, then not a lot of money is going to the donation to actually help the people who need it. And then, of course, C. So when you see those advertisements in the TV, on the internet, that costs lots and lots of money. So those UNICEF ads, the ads for World Wildlife Fund, yeah, I mean, they get some discounts for being charities, but they still cost hundreds of thousands, if not millions, for the volumes that they're doing that. So the correct answers were A and C. And again, logic can help, right? You have to pay people and you have to advertise your charity. And because of that, they can be inefficient. You can waste a lot of money on salaries and on marketing the charity. Okay? Okay. All right, so let's see. Now we had this flow chart, and we had to fill in 17, 18, 19 from the letters here. A, few. B, inefficient. C, optimal, generous, very many. M and D, and cancer. And on this left side, you have heart disease, which affects many people, and it's a good use of funds. So this is going to be the opposite. So this is going to be some kind of a disease or some kind of a sickness that probably not many people get. This one here, 17, Shakshri Zoda says that was probably F. Munjal agrees, yeah. And as long as you understood, so MND. Now, be careful, don't write the word because you'll get it wrong. So you have to write the letter, okay? So F, all right? F, MND, not cancer, because obviously cancer affects many people, just like heart disease, okay? So that would be on this side, okay? And if this affects many people, then clearly MND does not affect many people, so affects few people, A, okay? And it's a good use of funds. It's the only word that makes sense for the last one, for number 19 from the list, it's logically inefficient. Prashita, very good. Yeah. Kashir, very nice. Prath, Mash, very nice. Yeah. So 19 is B. Yeah. It's an inefficient use of funds, right? So giving lots of money to help cure a disease that doesn't affect many people would not be the best use of funds. Okay. All right. So very nice. That's a flow chart. In the flow chart, pay attention to the other information that's given. This will help you figure this out, even if you missed some of the listening. So a lot of the answers are already there on the question sheet, as long as you pay close attention. Okay. All right, and then number 20, according to the guest, what is the main goal of charitable giving? So according to this guest, when you give some money to a charity like saving animals or saving the forest or helping ill people, what should you really focus on? Doing research, giving to good causes, or maximizing good? Cab and Moon and Mihir and Prathamesh and Nico all agree that it's C. Yeah. And the guest says that. He says it's all about maximizing good with your money, right? So C was the correct answer. He talks about these ones, but he says it's all about maximizing good. Okay, everyone. So again, this was exam 5 from our website. And on our website, you can find 6 full practice exams. So as I had mentioned, you can join our premium package by clicking that big red button, and it's a one-time payment for lifetime access to all of those exams, videos, HD videos, not like this live class. And then for the general IELTS, it's the same. It's the green background. We're an official IELTS registration center, and we have British Council agents. So ahelp.com for academic, glshelp.com for general. Tomorrow, I will be back at the same time with part 3 and part 4 of this listening exam. So make sure to come back tomorrow, and then we'll do that together. I'll give you some more tips, and then we can see your overall score for listening. Okay? So thank you, Eugene, for those cool emojis at the end, just in time to wrap up this class. I'm Adrian. I'm signing out from Central Europe for now, but I hope to see all of you tomorrow again. Take some rest and have a great rest of your day. Much love to all of you, wherever you are in this wonderful world. Bye for now.